Hey, Gospel Light. Happy 30-year anniversary. I'm Jesse Franco, and this is my wife, Miranda Franco. We have two girls, Kinley and Ansley, and we just want to share with y'all our story, and we'll let my wife take over.
Well, going into our story, we joined Gospel Light on September 11th, 2016. It's a pretty special day for us. Our oldest, Kinley, was actually saved that day, and then a few weeks later baptized by Brother Eric. And fast forward a few more years on into 2017, going into a personal story of ours. I started having chest pain and shortness of breath, not really feeling good. I'm a nurse practitioner, actually. I was a nurse then. That's before my practitioner's license. And just started noticing some things were off with my body. And eventually it got to where I went to the ER a couple of times with the chest pain and the shortness of breath. Couldn't breathe. They didn't find anything. Fast forward a few months later into April of 2018. And went back to the ER. It got to the point where I couldn't catch my breath to walk 5 feet down the hallway. And turns out that I had a very rare and aggressive form of lymphoma. When we got the results in that day, they just told us, it was a Wednesday actually, they told us that we had, it was either going to be thymoma or lymphoma. And worst case scenario was going to be the thymoma. I had a year to live. Best case scenario was going to be lymphoma, and I would have a fighting chance. So the weekend before we found out that Wednesday, we came to church that Sunday. We had already been in touch with Carol Ann and Brother Eric, and the Popes, of course, then invited us to church in 2015. Let me tell you about that. But so our surrounding church community, they knew about the situation. We didn't know what it was. We were awaiting biopsy results. Brother Eric felt a strong need to anoint me with oil and anoint our family and pray over our family and pray over me. And let me tell you, our kids didn't even know at this point. They just knew that Mommy was sick. They didn't know that Mommy had cancer. So we came up here the Sunday before we found out. Monday was the biopsy results. And Brother Eric anointed me with oil, prayed over us. Brother Doug actually gave me one of his, the body armor of Christ coins, and I still keep that with me in my bag every day. Just the power of prayer in this church family and in this church community even. From that moment on, we found out Monday that it was the lymphoma and that I had a fighting chance. We told the kids that day. It was kind of a hard day. We didn't really use the word cancer, and my oldest came to me. She was, I guess about 9 or 10 at the time, and she came to me and she said, "Well, Mama, you said that you had a tumor, but I was scared you were going to tell me you had cancer." And I had to break down and tell her, "Well, baby, Mama does have cancer." But they got to see the church pray over us, continue to pray over us, to ask us if we needed anything, to be there for us. Brother Eric and Carol Ann, the Popes, Brother Doug, Tony and Marcia. I mean, I can just name off several members of this church that came together to check on us and ask us how our appointments were going. Fast forward 6 months, I did 6 rounds of chemo, 23 rounds of radiation, and moving from April of 2018 to October of 2018, I was finally given the remission mark. So while the church is celebrating their 30th year anniversary this June, April marked my 4-year cancerversary, and October will mark my 4-year remission mark. So fast forward even a couple of years after that, I'm still cancer-free. This is 2022. It feels great to be in remission. It feels great to be able to give my testimony as far as how powerful God is and how He just shown Himself throughout every situation I was in. One instance in particular, my first round of radiation, I was scared to death. I didn't know what to expect. I just prayed, "Lord, I need you to show me that you're there. I need you to show me that you're here. I don't know what to expect." And yes, I was a nurse. I was a healthcare professional, but it's a whole different realm in healthcare. It's a whole different area in itself. And so I just prayed. I said, "Lord, I'm about to go lay down on this table and I don't know what to expect. Just show yourself And when I looked up, I finished praying. I was on the table, and when I looked up, there's a cross literally in the ceiling tile right above me. And I just cried because I knew he was there with me the whole time. And I knew it was because of the prayers going up and the love and support and the cry out from the Holy Spirit that God was there, and he was going to see me through it, and he was going to use our story as a way to reach others. And that's been my goal ever since, is to be the light for Christ in hard times. I believe it taught our girls a lesson as far as seeing those that are in need, seeing those that are weak, and really going to pray for them and going to be there for them and trying to lift them up emotionally, lift them up spiritually. And such ugly things can come out to such beautiful things when you allow Christ to do all the work. So, but that's our story. And I can even say, too, fast forward a few more years later, our little girl was actually saved. We were listening to K-Love on the way to school, and little Ainsley was saved in the car on the way to school. And the first person I called was Brother Eric. And before I let her get out of the vehicle, we prayed and came and met him that afternoon, I believe, and confirmed her salvation, and she was baptized. So it's just a blessing to have been a part of this church for just the small amount of years. When you think of 30 years, I mean, we haven't been here that many years, but we've loved every single minute of it, and we felt the love that the church has shown every single minute of it. So very blessed and grateful, and thank you, Gospel Light, and happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.